Ever feel like you're drowning in life hacks and productivity apps, but somehow you're more anxious than ever? Well, what if the answer wasn't in some new app, but in a playbook that's, about 2,000 years old? Today, we're going to steal some ancient secrets from Roman emperors and philosophers to build a mind that is truly unshakable, even in the middle of all this modern chaos.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the big idea, the ancient fix. Then we'll dive into some really powerful exercises for shifting your perspective and facing life's obstacles head on. And finally, we'll get into the daily training you need to lock all these skills in and build that inner fortress for good.
All right, let's get right into it.
So, what's the real problem we're trying to solve here? It's this feeling, right? We are just bombarded with ways to optimize our lives. But that background hum of stress, it never really goes away. We keep chasing these quick fixes when what we actually need is a fundamental upgrade to our mental operating system.
And this is where the Stoics come in. Now, these guys weren't just thinkers, they were doers. I mean, they faced war, plague, political exile, the whole shebang. And through all that, they developed a set of practical mental exercises. Think of it like a workout for your soul, to build what they called an inner citadel, a fortress inside your mind that no matter what's happening outside, nothing can breach it.
So let's get into our first set of tools. These are all about fundamentally shifting how you see the world and your place in it.
We have all been there. A single problem, maybe a stressful deadline or a tough conversation, and it just feels like the entire world. We totally lose our sense of proportion, and our anxiety just starts to spiral out of control. Okay, so here is an incredible exercise in radical imagination. Seriously, try it with me right now. Imagine floating up from where you are. See your room, then your neighborhood, your whole city, and then the entire planet just hanging there in the silence of space. From that cosmic perspective, how big is that argument you had this morning? It just shrinks the problem right back down to its true size. And get this isn't some new age technique. This comes directly from the private journal of a Roman emperor. Marcus Aurelius used this exact exercise to kind of detach from his ego and wash away what he called the dust of earthly life.
Okay, next problem. We scroll, we argue about petty things online, we procrastinate. Basically, we act as if our time is limitless. But deep down, we all know it's our most finite and our most precious resource.
Now, memento mori sounds incredibly dark, I know, but its purpose is the exact opposite. This is not about being morbid. It's a tool for intense motivation. When you start your day with the thought, this could be my last, it's like this powerful filter just clicks on. And suddenly, all those petty grievances just fade away, and you're left with this laser-sharp focus on what truly matters. All right, let's build on that. We've shifted our perspective. Now we're going to learn how to actively confront hardship. This is where the real mental strength training begins. We all live with it, right? That low-grade hum of anxiety about the future. What if I lose my job? What if something happens to my family? What if I get sick? This fear, it can be absolutely paralyzing. The Stoic solution here is completely counterintuitive. Instead of positive visualization, they practiced negative visualization. By mentally rehearsing the worst-case scenarios, you actually do two amazing things. First, you take away their power. You inoculate yourself against that fear. And second, when you come back to the present moment, you're filled with this incredible sense of gratitude for everything you currently have. Okay, this right here, this is the absolute foundation of Stoicism. In any moment of stress, just do a quick mental triage. Ask yourself, is this thing in my control or out of my control? If it's in that left column, you practice letting it go. Your energy, your focus, your power, it all belongs exclusively in the right column. That's it. This short phrase, which was really popularized by the author Ryan Holiday, perfectly captures the next exercise. It is a mindset shift that can reframe every single challenge you will ever face. So when a setback hits, the Stoic doesn't just grit their teeth and bear it. No, they get curious. They ask, okay, how can I use this? That injury that stops you from running? Well, now it's the perfect opportunity to finally write that book you've been thinking about. See? It's the art of turning adversity into advantage. Now, these mindsets are great, but let's be honest, they're useless without consistent practice. So let's look at the daily drills that turn these ideas into ingrained automatic habits. And this isn't a Dear Diary about your feelings, it's a structured self-examination. That famous book, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, it was just his private journal. By asking these 3 simple questions every evening, you hold yourself accountable, you start to see your own patterns, and you can consciously course correct for tomorrow.
We've all been there. Emotions are running high, the pressure is on, and you're just not sure what the right move is. Our first impulses, they can really lead us astray. So how do you find the right path? Well, the Stoics used a mental role model, the sage, this ideal, perfectly wise person. You can do the exact same thing. When you're stuck, just ask yourself, what would the best version of me do right now? That simple question can just lift you out of your own emotional turmoil and give you a clear, rational standard to aim for. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's zoom out and see how all of these pieces fit together to build that mental fortress we talked about at the very beginning. Here's the blueprint. It's really a 3-part system. First, you gain perspective to stop the small stuff from overwhelming you. Second, you build resilience so you can turn challenges into fuel. And third, you commit to the daily practice that makes all that strength permanent. See how each part reinforces the others? But you have to remember, these are not magic pills. This is mental training, just like going to the gym for your body. The strength and the stillness you're looking for, they come from consistent practice, day in and day out. Ultimately, your mind is your greatest asset. It absolutely deserves to be trained accordingly. Look, this isn't just about learning, it's about doing. The training begins the moment this ends. So think about it. Of all the tools we just covered, which one are you going to put into practice today?